Rainy day, sorry about the noise. So this is where we're sitting. So this is fully heat treated. So the last video was getting around 40 minutes, so I'm gonna break it up. I'm gonna make 2 videos. The jimping on it was from a cutting disc, so I forgot to put jimping on it before the heat treat. After the heat treat, the file won't touch it. It just skitters across it. You can't get it to cut. Can't get it to cut at all. If I can find my jimping file, I'll show you what it looks like. So this is a jimping file. So it's got these bunch of these grooved teeth. I guess it ain't gonna focus for me, I don't know. It's a jimping file. But this is the results of a jimping file. This is what that's what you want. I mean, that's a professional. That's what it's supposed to be. This ain't what it's supposed to be. But if, you know, the knife's for me. If it was for somebody else, I'd have scrapped it and started over. Or reheat treated, cut it in, and then started over from there. But, yeah, it was for me. I just wanted it there, you know. A little reminder to slow down, maybe, on what I'm doing. But the rest of them all have jimping. So I got five sitting here that'll all heat treated, all done. So, I need to put a little bit of a grind on this just to get, you know, edge closer to sharp. Maybe straighten a couple lines out just a little bit. Redo this. And, yeah, so I'm going to put a grind on it, and I got a hand sand, put a handle on it. So I'll put a grind on it. We'll come back after that. All right, so I got all these, I got them all ground up. It's 80 grit right now. You can see the belt finish on it. If I catch the light just right, you'll see the belt finish on it. That belt finish, this all clean up with the hand sand. Just some deep spots. I have to get it out, hand sanding. But, that belt finish, some guys like that belt finish, man. I don't know. Some guys like it. I don't. I'm not a fan. I like a hand finish. It just shows, to me, a belt finish is lazy. To me, it just looks lazy. And, you know, if you test for your journeymanship through ABS, you're not going to see a belt finish on any of those knives. Those knives are, I mean, damn near perfect. It's always mono steel for a journeyman test. It's a reason I don't really mess with Damascus too much at, you know, during this time, is because I plan on testing for journeymanship in 2-3 years. So, yeah, I mainly do mono steel, and I do a belt finish or a hand finish on everything I do. I don't like a belt finish. Like I said, it just looks lazy. So I'm going to hand sand these things, and you get a lot of guys online that complain about hand sanding. To me, I mean, it's not that big of a deal if you do it right. I mean, it doesn't take that long unless you're, you know, working with a 3-foot knife or something, or a dang sword. I did a big bastard file knife for a buddy of mine. And, dude, that sucker, it took me, one knife, it probably took me close to 5 hours just getting all the scratches out of it. But a little knife like this, I mean, it'd take 20-30 minutes. Doesn't even take that long. So I'll time lapse it. So you guys ain't got to sit through the boring part, I guess, is what most people call it. Let's see. There it is. I'll time lapse it. And, so the way I do it is I just drill this sucker down. It's got holes in it. Might as well put some screws in it, hold it steady. Some guys, they got them, they're like, they're knife hand sanding like vices, I guess. I need that over to the edge closer. So, which are nifty. They're handy. You can flip them. I mean, they look good. They look like they work well. I'm just not going to spend the money on one right now. There's other more important tools I need in this shop. besides that thing, when I could just drill down to the wood here. So I guess, I mean, it's going to be a shit angle. I don't have a stand for my camera or cell phone, as some of you have probably realized that this is all filmed on a cell phone. But so I use Windex. Windex has got ammonia in it. Some guys use they'll use like baking soda in their water. It keeps it from flash rusting. The ammonia will do the same thing. It keeps it from flash rusting, and it keeps your, you know, sandpaper from clogging. So it's at an 80 grit belt finish right now, and I jumped right up to 220. So that'll, I mean, once I get all these 80 grit lines out, it's pretty much good. Then I'll go back over it with 400, and then that'll be like the finish. 400 will be the finish. I've gone up higher. It starts getting like a mirror finish. I like that look of that hand finish, those lines in it, just smooth all the way across, no J's from going back and forth. So, yeah, I'll just get going here. We'll time lapse it for you guys. And this shit will blacken your hands. So if you're trying to keep, I mean, it tears your hands up anyways. Making knives tears your hands up. But this stuff right here will ruin your clothes. It'll blacken your hands. Along with the glue too, when you do a glue up, man, you want to get some gloves. That stuff stays on your hands for 2-3 days. This stuff as well, it stays about 2-3 days on your hands. You can wash them 3-4 times. The next day you're still going to have black hands. See, I mean, that little bit of time, it's already halfway done. I mean, it does not take long. So I just wrap, just on a file, I just wrap 220. I cut it in strips, wrap 220. When I get done with a piece like that, I tear it off. Tear it off, goes in the trash. I got fresh sandpaper. So another thing too is this is cheap sandpaper. This isn't expensive shit. I mean, it's 3M. It's from Home Depot, you know. My hammers are Harbor Freight hammers. Right? I just rounded the faces on them. This is low tech around here. You know, I'm not spending $100, $100, $200 on a hammer. You know, when I could just, you know, round the face of a Harbor Freight hammer, fix the handle a little bit, and it's good to go. You know, so low tech around here, low tech. Another thing that helps is cross hatching. You know, I got 80 grit lines, you know. If I got 80 grit lines going this way and I cross hatch with them, it cuts, you know, you cross hatch and go straight again and cross hatch. It'll help get through that hardened steel a little better. So anybody that's ever done any body work will know to use the glare of the light to hit the steel just right so you could see any lows or highs or scratches left by the grit you don't want, right? That's why you see me rocking forward and back. I'm catching the light just right on the steel. I don't know, I'm doing so much talking, maybe I won't time lapse this. Got one little spot left on this false edge. Nah, it's still there. So most every day, like a normal dude looking at this knife, right? Like he's not going to notice that one little scratch I'm working on, right? You get a guy like me that makes them and does this and really like tries to pay attention to fit and finish and detail, like that's something you're always trying to do, is going to notice that one little scratch, right? Is going to notice a gap in the handle for the material, you know? I mean, it's just, you start getting like real picky. You start critiquing everything. So what I'm doing there is I'm going all the way from the top and I'm dragging all the way through without stopping, and that gets rid of any J's. So J's are when you're going back and forth, right? When you turn around, it's never precisely in the same exact. You're not a machine. So you got this little that you don't realize you're doing, and it leaves these J's. And it's something that, you know, somebody with a good eye and who's looking for it will see. That's why you drag all the way through, start to finish like that. When you're finishing off, and that's your hand finish. That's what, in my opinion, looks good. At least that's the best finish. You know, when you're making Damascus or something and you etch it in acid, these scratches all go away. It eats through them. That's why you're not allowed to use, when you test for journeymanship, nothing's allowed to be etched. It all has to be hand finished. Because it's like cheating, basically. Huh. Wonder how much is shaking that camera. I ain't noticed. So what is that? That's 15 minutes of hand sanding. And this is 95% done. I got a couple spots. I got to clean the transition a little bit. But more than half this blade is completely finished. So I'm just going to cut it here, and then I'll come back and show you what the finished results are. That way you guys ain't got to sit through this for, I don't know, another 30-40 minutes. However long it takes. Alright, so that one side's done. Probably 10-15 minutes. I mean, it doesn't take very long. Doesn't take very long. I'll show you guys what it looks like. I gotta switch to the other side. Switch to the other side, and then I also gotta hit it with a wire wheel, clean up all the forged finish on it. And but here's what a hand finish looks like. All the lines are going with it. And see if I can't catch the light just right on that. That's what a hand finish looks like. That's what it should look like. Yeah, I don't like belt finish where all the lines go this way. Just like I said, it just looks lazy. I mean, I can show you an example. Like I said, some guys like it, which is okay, man. I mean, everybody likes their own stuff. You know, everybody's got preferences and what they prefer when it comes to a blade or anything else that's a tool like this, you know. So, but so there's a hand finish, which we all just looked at, and then there's a belt finish. Right, it's just the lines going this way, which, I mean, it's not terrible. The hand finish will clean up your lines, though. Like, clean this up, make this a lot nicer transition. You can see that, right? Just a lot nicer. You get to get in here real well. You know, where right here, it's still pretty ugly looking, but it'll all clean up just like this side once I get the hand sanding on it. So, I'll get after the other side. And, I'll probably wire wheel it, get after the other side, wire wheel it, and clean it with acetone and get ready for a glue up with that awesome material that was bought for me. So we'll come back while I'm doing the glue up. Okay. So we're hand sanded and wire wheeled. One thing I still have to do, I still have to sand the spines of this thing. But that's what the finish looks like. So I don't know how that lighting is, but it's been wire wheeled, hand sanded. And next I'll get the spines. I'll just file and hand sand the spines, make those clean. Inside and out, maybe round this side a little bit so there's no sharp edges on your fingers. And then go to glue up from there. It came out nice. I mean, a couple scratches there. I'll go back over. I didn't see till right now. But that thing came out. It's a beaut. It is a beaut. This irks the hell out of me. That I forgot to put those in before hardening. Bothers the hell out of me, but like I said, I'm going to carry this thing every day. It'll be a nice reminder to slow down. Slow down and pay attention. I'll be jumping ahead just because I had 5 on the table. 6 on the table I was doing. I got another 5 to heat treat. So I had, you know, another 5 to get done. But I had 6 on the table, so I just got in a hurry and got a little ahead of myself. And so once I noticed that, I actually stopped the heat treat, went back and put the jimping on all of them, and then went back to heat treating. So, but yeah, let me file the spine, sand the spine down, and then we'll come back to glue up. All right. So this is the handle material we're using. It's this gray green stuff. And me and the wife were talking. I think we're going to do gray side down, the green and black, and then let the gray come through as we grind into it, you know. So Peel these plastic bits off here. I guess I probably could have left it on to get it drilled. So, ooh, that didn't come off at all. All right. So gray side down. This thing isn't going to be even on this side. It's going to get rounded over. It'll get squared. This thing is just too curved to put it on there evenly. So that's how it's going to fit on there. You can see that if I go up or down, it's just not going to fit, right? So I put it on like that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to clamp this thing and then I'm going to drill holes in it. One thing to note when you do this part is you could tear it up real quick. You can mess up the whole thing like real fast. I mean, you'll ruin handle material quick doing this. Some guys probably got it figured out better than I do. This is just the way I do it. I'm not an expert at any of this. None of this stuff am I an expert on. Like I said, you know, in the last video, still learning all of it. So I'll clamp it down like that, and then I'll go drill my holes, and then I'll put this one square with it and then drill the holes on this side is how I do it. So, and then I'll try and adjust it much as I can. Yeah, that's as good as it's going to get. So once I get the holes drilled in both sides, then I'll scribe it out. I'll get my pin out. I'll cut my pins, put my pin in one side. I'll scribe it out, and then I'll cut off and then grind too. I cut off, and then that way I'm not grinding, you know, an inch of shit sometimes. So we drill some holes. I'll be right back. Okay, this stuff stinks when you drill it. I hope it don't smell like that when I grind it. It's the first time I've worked with this material. So I had to mark one side, make sure I knew what the front of the knife was. Mark this side, make sure I know what the front is. Okay. It stinks when you drill it, and it also it'll blow out. So I got a little chip right there, broke off the edges. So you need a wood backing. Definitely need a wood backing. The second one was done with a wood backing. It didn't chip on me. This one chipped on me. I guess the lighting's kind of shit there, isn't it? Shiny stuff. See it chipped? This one didn't blow out because I had a wood backing. Yeah, once you see that, I mean, once you see the material will blow out, I mean, you might as well just grab a piece of wood and put a wood backing behind it, and then hopefully it'll keep it from blowing out on you the next time. But yeah, drilled just fine. So I'll scribe out one. I'll scribe out one and then get to cutting on it. And then do the front end how I want it with the 40s. And, you know, 40-degree angle going towards it. And then hand sand it. Because once it's glued up, you're not going to be able to hand sand right there. Not without scratching up your knife. So, see if I can't scratch. Oop. Yeah, let me get some pins in it to scribe it out. That way it doesn't want to move on me as much. Let's just G10 my car to a black pin. It's probably enough for 2 knives. I think I've done 3 knives before with one stick. It's usually enough for 2 knives, which is all I'm looking to do. Is enough for 2 knives. So get this guy cut out, make 2 of these. I just use a hacksaw to get through these. Pretty quick and easy. Sometimes you drop it and lose it. That's not fun. But you can see how fast, I mean, you just cut right through the dang thing. Doesn't take very long at all. Then you gotta, you know, clean up the edges and stuff, but it ain't that big of a deal. So let's see. Okay, there's that one. So they'll be all right. Clean up the edges real quick. All right. So pins in, scribe it out here. Oh yeah, put some pressure on it now. That's nice. Okay. So I just scribe it out real nice and easy. No big deal. And then I'll cut. I got a bandsaw here that I'll set up and just kind of cut the excess off close to the lines. This side I'll probably leave and grind it out, but I could definitely cut these corners off here. And I'll get both sides done, and then I'll worry about squaring up the front end and all that good stuff. All right, so these aren't exactly flat. I mean, you could fill them. This is probably the top side of the mold. This is why it's just not exactly flat. So I'm going to flatten it out, and then I'll start with some epoxy and get the glue up going here. Once I get the glue up going, it's clamped, and then 24 hours before I can clean it up and actually finish the knife. It's a good looking blade though. Let me get these flat real quick. I'll be right back. Didn't take much at all. Oh yeah. It stinks when you grind it too. When you drill it, it stinks. When you grind it, it stinks. That's lovely. I gotta square off the front end of this thing. So let me toss some pins in. Show you how I do that. I mean, not every knife's like this, but a lot of them will give you trouble. These don't even want to go in the plastic. Shit. Okay, see if I go on this side easy. So this side, no problem. I wonder what happened to that side. Okay. Yeah. Yep. No gaps. Nice, you know, distal taper from front to back there. I mean, it ain't much of one, but it's flat, which is all that matters. I mean, there's been plenty of times where I'd start a glue up and you could just see a big old gap or something, man, where you got to fill it with black glue or something, or try and fix it before you do your glue up. Or there's times you do a glue up, you don't see a gap, you do a glue up, and then you finish the handle on the knife, and there's clearly a gap. Like, why didn't I see? So this is what I use. I just find a square. Just find a square. I mean, that's pretty close to perfect. I'll be able to raise that a little bit. I like that. So, I mean, you can see it's going to be a minimal corner to square it up. It doesn't take much. And it's not like it was crazy out of whack or nothing. Scribe that line like that. Okay. Now, the important thing isn't necessarily that it's like super square, right? Because it's going to be rounded. You won't notice a whole lot. The important thing is doing both of them the exact same. Because you got one side that looks pretty good, and then the other side, and you're like, what? You're going to notice. Somebody's going to notice. And you definitely don't want to be putting out product or carrying around something you're proud of. You got to take pride in your shit, as my buddy says. Take pride in your shit. So, that's what we're doing. Yeah, I definitely need to hit that on the drill real quick. Let's see if that fixed the problem. Oh yeah, that did it. So I know the fronts match, right? I'll put a pin in these guys. Like so. Maybe knock it in. Something solid. That's pretty normal. That's kind of what you want, is a kind of a tighter fit. So these, I mean, damn perfect right there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get the bench out. I'm going to square it up because I don't always use the table on the grinder, but when I do use it, I got to make sure it's square. I'll square up the table, the grinder on the table, and then I'll put the 40 on these and then make them match and then round them off, and then I'll be able to glue up from there. I got to hit everything with a little acetone, mix up glue, all the good stuff. So we'll come back. Actually, I'll record squaring that up for you guys real quick. So, so the table's in, but it's still loose. So I'll just use a square. I mean, it's that simple, right? This is an 80 grit belt. It was new before I ground things 6 knives. Just finished grinding on them after the heat treat. It was brand new. The newer belts create less heat. So when you got an old belt, I mean, it'll work, right? But it gets hotter faster for some reason. I think it's just more slick than grit. So instead of cutting for you, you're having to work it harder. So let's square this guy up. Don't want much of a gap here. Let's see. Get it tight. Just make sure it's square. See, it's off. Even though last time I used it, it was square, and that thing gets off for some reason. So that's square there. And you got to hit it with the level too, you know what I mean? You got to hit it with that big old 3-foot level. Just make sure you're good, man. I mean, perfect. All right. Professionals around here. Bunch of professionals. Not knuckleheads. Professionals, trust me. No knuckleheads around here. Just professionals. Probably put a mask on. So now I'm going to round this thing. We're going to round it. That's simple. That's simple. Let me put my mask on.
through the 40s now. Ah. Pivot point, right? So that's 40 right there, right? So, I mean, it's almost. Well, that's some cool stuff. That's what it looks like once you grind into it, man. That's how it started. That's some cool stuff. I'm going to try and match the other side to this side. See the line, and then that'll... Man, that's some cool stuff.
Man, that's some cool stuff. It stinks. I could even smell it through the mask. Probably not good. But makes one hell of a mess. Floats on your water. But I mean, dude, that stuff is cool. So that was completely green when I started. Look at that. That is some cool stuff to work with. And that matches there, you know. So it might be a little thick on that side still. Just the tiniest bit. So the angles, let's move you guys over here. So the angle, I mean, this is like a 40, 45, right? So it might be a little less than a 45. I mean, we can check it out again, right? That's 45. So it's probably closer to a 30-degree. But you know, it's done by hand. It ain't done with jigs. I don't use jigs. I rather do it by hand. I just rather learn and do it by hand instead of using a jig. For me, it just shows like a higher level of skill, right? I mean, there's guys that make phenomenal stuff and they use jigs, you know, and it's phenomenal stuff. But for me, I just want to do it by hand. I don't want to use a jig. I mean, I know, you know, you get perfection out of a jig, but let's see how good I can get by hand. You know, that's kind of the idea behind it. And then, you know, like I got a lip right here on this material. So you see like that 80 grit, I mean, ate that stuff alive, which was nice. It's nice to have material that doesn't burn, you know. something like this. So this is desert ironwood right here. It's one of my favorite woods to work with. I mean, it's beautiful stuff when it's polished up and done right. That stuff it'll smoke. It'll smoke. It smells like cat piss when you grind it too. A lot of this handle material stuff stinks for some reason. This is all ironwood, not desert ironwood, but ironwood. It's different. It's not the same. So if you go to order ironwood, make sure it's desert ironwood, because ironwood is and desert ironwood are completely different tree. Completely different tree. Not the same shit. And it's not as dark and it's not as pretty, but hopefully that stuff will polish out nice on this other stack of knives I got going over here. So this lip right here that I got, I'm not worried about. It's going to sand out, right? So this will be hand sanded when it's done. So this whole thing will get hand sanded. I'm going to hand sand this right here. Probably, I don't know, 400 grit. I'll hand sand that up so it's nice and pretty. And then like these edges right here are going to round over. And then of course, you know, I've got where your finger goes. Your finger's going to dip in right there. Actually, that's where, you know, you hold the knife. So, but yeah, that's how I do that. So I'm just going to hand sand this right here, and then I'll come back with some acetone, and then get to mixing some epoxy and stuff. So here's what we got. It's got a little polishing compound on it. Where this light does not help at all, does it? It might help a little bit. Nah, you can't see that, man. Oh well. It's got a little polishing compound on it. It'll come out when I do some better hand sanding. But there's some cool stuff to work with. Yeah, I've never worked with this stuff before. It's pretty neat though. It's pretty neat. So I mean, I got another set of it for a co-worker's knife. Him and his wife wanted a chef knife. This stuff feels softer than this. This stuff feels more brittle like glass. That stuff is like more solid like plastic. So I wonder if it's different. But yeah, I got some of this stuff for a co-worker's knife. So I'll probably put the blue on the inside because that's the color they wanted. They wanted the blue. You notice the inside color is coming out more than the outside color, which is all right. I mean, I didn't mind either way, you know, a green knife or, you know, the gray, the black, the green. But this, just having all of it mixed in, this is still going to have a lot of green in it if you see, you know, a lot of green. Pretty cool, though. I mean, that's cool material, man. I've never used that stuff. Let's see. I know my epoxy is going to be cold as shit. Get some paper towels over here. Don't need that. I need these things right here. These are important. That epoxy will stick to your hand for days. And you can pour acetone on them after the epoxy. Don't make a difference. Don't make a difference. You get epoxy on your hands, pour acetone on it, trying to get the epoxy off. Nope, doesn't work. Just makes a bigger mess. Bigger mess, you go wash it with soap, and then it's on there for 2-3 days. So these things are what you want. So, just paper towels out here. Look for a piece of cardboard. Here we go. Thank you, Amazon, for giving us something to mix our epoxy on. Sure, we all appreciate that. Of course, out of my way. Don't need those no more. I broke a band blade from a bandsaw. Broke that sucker. I might keep it. Try to do some canister or something eventually. Pretty neat. All right. That epoxy is going to be ice cold. It's probably 50 degrees out here. Get the acetone going. Yeah, these are a little small. My wife said, it's all I have is large. Alright. Gotta make do with what you got. At least that's how I was raised. Make do with what you got. Okay. Where'd that little bugger go? There it is. Separate this guy. So another thing you could do, like if you don't have, you know, if you're working with files, because you can do this all with files. You really don't need a belt sander to do what I did right here. You do this all with files. And yeah, but if you ain't got files and you're not able to cut this in right here, what you can do is you could like put real deep scratches and grooves. You just need that glue to hold. You need that glue to have like room to get in there. If you just do flat on flat, just that still, it's not going to be as strong. So you really want, and then something I do anyways, is I'll take something and I'll scratch this up, even though, because I mean, if it's super smooth, it's just not, it's not going to have the same, like, it's just not going to hold as well. So, I'll scratch this up real good. And, just kind of give it something to bite into. Another thing you could probably do too is you could probably like offset these holes, sink them, countersink these holes, and maybe countersink the holes in the knife too. If you got a countersink that cuts steel, I mean most countersinks are for wood, right? So, but I'm just going to scar this up in here. You know, I mean I doubt it makes a difference, but that's just what I do. That's how I do it. Even with the wood ones, I'll scratch them up on the inside so it's not super smooth. Hell, the top of my acetone bottle was dirtier than the knives are. Put this down with acetone. Good and clean. And acetone this bad boy. Okay. Where's this other paper towel? So we can set these on this paper towel for now. That way we got a place to mix this. Get my C-clamps out. Some C-clamps readily available. Alright, I doubt this stuff's going to work with me. Just something to stir it with. So this is an old piece of like scrap, like rosewood. Works real good though. Works just fine. Just like a popsicle stick. People be using popsicle sticks and shit. Just like a popsicle stick. Alright. Oh. Boy, this stuff don't want to do nothing. It's cold. cold. Don't want to work with me. Oh, it's worse than honey. Jesus. Take the cap off this thing. That ought to be enough. Huh. There it is. All right. Might as well do the same here. That's definitely enough. All right. You think like, oh, maybe when you mix it, it'll warm up. Right now, I don't know if the chemical reaction between the hardeners makes any heat or not. Couldn't tell you. I probably got a heat gun. I got a heat gun somewhere laying around. I got a heat gun somewhere laying around. So, take my knife, like to fill the crevices. Make sure the crevice is full. So the handle of the knife has still got like 80 grit scratches in it, right? So you got a little grip there too, which is nice. Wrong side, this side. Okay. Grab me some pins. So I dip my pins in it. All right. And then I'm going to turn this over. So that one went in, no issues. Dip my pin in it. And that one went in, no issues. Get the rest of this loveliness. See how much of this I got left. I try and get it all on there. Yeah, I didn't do that with the other side. It's not like super necessary. Get in there. Get in there, sucker. Alright, definitely going to need to clamp that. It's not wanting to move now. Where's the clamp at? Yeah, that's what we wanted. So close it up, squeeze it out of it. That's why it's important to have a bevel or scratches or something, because that glue just squashes right out of it. It's all right. Make sure it's good and coated everywhere. And this stuff will drip, so wherever you put it, don't put it over something important. Don't take it in the house. It's cold like this, it's going to take longer to dry. But I got more clamps to go on this thing, so I'm going to clamp the back as well. And then I got another clamp for the front. Yeah, that stuff's pretty solid, so really, are you not going to work with me? Get in there. That's going to be a cool knife. That thing's going to be cool. That material's cool stuff, man. I'm really happy with this. Other than the jimping, I mean, I'm happy as can be. Happy as a clam, especially considering it's my knife. It's going to be for me. So, I mean, if it was for somebody else, I'd be just as excited, you know? Like, oh man, look how cool this is, right? But, I mean, so I'm trying not to get the pin. Yeah, this stuff isn't going to want to clamp right there. Try it like this. Hit my light. That's the thing about the epoxy. You're not like in a rush with it. It's fine. Ain't gonna hurt it. Oh, angle's too good right there. I'd like to clamp the front of that though, just in case. Get on there, sucker. So the whole reason I use this clamp is because one of the heads swivels a little more than a normal clamp does. It's just scooting on down, isn't it? Alright, where's this guy at there? That will do, donkey, that will do. This ought to do the trick. Or do I clamp it like super high up on it right there? You'll stay. Oh, alright. That's how that's going to look. So that's going to sit there, clamp like that. It'll be 24 hours. I mean, it's Sunday today. I got to go to work tomorrow. So they might sit like that for a week. I don't know. No telling. We'll find out though. We will find out. I might get time tomorrow to finish it off. If I do, I'll definitely keep recording. I mean, so try and get the excess from the tip right here. Like I said, that's something you can't really mess with a whole lot with sandpaper, because you'll ruin the finish of your blade. Do my best to clean it off like this. And I don't put acetone right here on the knives. I'm just not taking the chance. This one's dry. This one has acetone on it. So I'm just not taking the chance of fucking, not taking the chance of messing up the bond. Something I'd rather not do. So I'll wipe it the best I can. And the knife isn't sharp yet. That's the last thing I do is I sharpen it. Because I mean, there's been plenty of times where I've had it sharp before the handle, but I've also had a bunch of little cuts all over my hands from it too. Because when I sharpen these knives, I mean, they'll shave hair. Ask all my friends. I got bald legs and bald arms and wear shorts. I look goofy. I forget who I seen do that. They use their leg. They go, oh man, I'm all out of arm hair. I go, yeah, genius. That's one of the smartest guys I've ever met. You ain't got to cut your arm hair up and look goofy going down the road. Just cut your leg hair up and don't wear shorts so nobody sees. Alright. So that's that. We'll come back, I don't know, in a day, maybe a week. It definitely won't be 2 weeks, but in a day or a week. And finish that off. Finish this video. And I got 5 more to do. Same thing, except I'm using wood. Using this stuff, which I'm not real confident in. If it doesn't polish up nice, I'm going to be very upset. Because I ordered that stuff thinking it was desert ironwood. It's not desert ironwood. It's not even close to how beautiful desert ironwood is. I mean, that's not polished. That's nothing. I mean, that stuff comes out. It's super dark. I mean, and then it's got, you know, the lines move. It looks like burl sometimes, you know, but it's not. It's just a piece of desert ironwood. This is a super light piece. I mean, and you could just see all the movement in that grain, you know. This is a super light piece. It's one of the lightest pieces I've ever got of desert ironwood. It usually comes like this. It's usually super dark. This stuff, I mean, you can see how straight that is. I'm hoping it polishes up. When I wet it, it gets dark, but I don't know. If it polishes up and then turns dark with oil, I mean, you can see the grain in it. It's just, it's super straight. It's plain. It's boring. It's not what I wanted. I was doing 5 knives with sheaths with desert ironwood. That's one of my favorite woods to work with. And it's beautiful stuff. And I ordered this stuff not reading the description. It's ironwood, not desert ironwood. Not happy about it. See, we'll come back in a few days.